Go ahead. Turn it up. It's The Record Machine with your host, Jimmy Howe.
Many nights I have dreams, oh, but I don't know why you keep coming to me. Many nights I'm in a place, I see the discomfort that rests upon your face. If I'm mistaken, dreams, they seem so complicated. Is a message really cryptic, or will it turn out so simplistic? Many nights I watch time, can't wait to close my eyes, see you in my mind. I still pretend, oh, that you really exist, my imaginary friend. Pardon me if I'm mistaken, dreams, they seem so complicated. Is a message really cryptic, or will it turn out so simplistic?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome singer-songwriter Anthony Caruso. Anthony, how you doing, brother?
Jimmy, what's going on, bro?
Not much. I heard there's a lot of storms head your way. How you doing?
Not good. We just got back. We're all ready. We live on the second floor, man. We're good.
That's
and we
good.
face east. We're in an apartment complex with 3 buildings in front of us, and we face east, so I think we'll be fine.
Okay, you're in Bradenton, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gonna go right by us and then curve right into Tampa, man. Poor Tampa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But when it goes by us, it's gonna be about 50 miles off the coast.
Okay.
So it's gonna be bad, but could be worse. You know, I've been through worse. So
when's it gonna start?
Tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
We'll see the effects of it starting tonight. You know,
the rain.
They're closing the island down at 8 o'clock and shutting the water off after that. And we're in Zone B, which is we're actually a mile from the water.
Oh, okay.
Like a mile and a half from the water. So, and we're a mile and a half from the bay. So it's going to come in from the Gulf. So that's a few miles, so a few miles from there. So, I mean, even if they did have storm surge, it's not going to reach us. that far in.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I'm in.
And if it does, bro, I got a kayak in here.
That'll work, right?
Man, we're prepared, bro.
Well, that's good. I'm sure you went to the store and stocked up on everything.
Right?
Right?
We just got back.
The last time we spoke on the air was November of 21. Since then, you've been working on your first solo record titled "Moving On" Rest and Dove Records. Can you talk about the record and when can we expect it?
Well, it's going to be kind of handed out in singles. That's the new model. I work by a 6/8 model, and that's 6 singles in 8 months. So over the course of the next 16 months, you'll get 10, 11, or 12 singles, and that'll be how it's delivered. That way, it keeps people keeps people's attention on the project. If you drop an album anymore, man, you're pretty much done.
Mm-hmm.
We live in a very attention deficit society when it comes to music, and people are they're always looking for something fresh, and that's because there's 60,000 songs uploaded a day to the platforms.
Mm-hmm.
And that's an amazing amount. And you've got, in order to keep yourself, once you get a base, or to keep yourself ahead of and on the top of the bucket of crabs, got to keep putting stuff out. So that's how we're going to do it. First song came out on Friday, and this past Friday on the 23rd. It's called Dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And what a more fitting way to start a solo career than on a song called Dreams. Of course, we all have dreams, and making dreams come true type of thing. And so I really love this song, and it really kind of set the tone for the whole project. So the songs are still in progress. There's 2 and 3 are already recorded.
Mm-hmm.
2 and 3 are getting mixed on the 2nd, and they'll come out subsequently. Of course, we've got the holidays coming up, so that's the reason for the 6/8, why it's not every 2 months, because at the holidays you've got to stop delivering music probably around November, because it's all Christmas, holiday. You're going to get lost in the mix. You got to be patient, in that. So the next single will come out January 23rd, which is when the industry starts to kick back off again.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll probably be ready for Valentine's Day. And then, of course, every 10 weeks after that, you'll get a single. So that's the plan.
This podcast is going to feature the first single, Dreams, which dropped on the 23rd of this month via distribution through Warner Music Group. What's the story behind that song?
Well, the story was, I wanted to, I guess, it's a culmination of what's happened ever since, the beginning, a couple of years back, 3-4 years ago, when I started 308 Ghost Train, and I had that issue where I died on the table and came back, and I couldn't get out of my head for a while, and then was contemplating the life and death situation. Went home and wrote the song Warren. And then all the subsequent things that happened after that, because I never looked back from that time. But things evolved very quickly and very magically, and I wanted to write a song that really kind of pulled it all together. So a couple things happened between 2019 and 2022, where we are today.
Mm-hmm.
And one was the 308 Ghost Train started taking off. And then the other one was I fell in love with Amanda. And so it was the first time in my life that I was actually headed towards a wonderful place, both personally and professionally. Mm-hmm. Generally, I avoided one when I had the other, and vice versa. So it never ever came together for me. And then what happened was, down the road, as it grew and it grew and it grew and it grew, I just saw the future kind of, and I saw that things were going to higher levels. And so I wanted to convey a message about dreams, that, dreams don't always happen in your sleep, man. Sometimes if you want to see them come true, you got to open your eyes. Mm-hmm. And that's true. You have to see what's around you, because dreams are coming true around you all day long. The reason you may not feel them or experience them as much as you want is because they may not be heightened to a level that's like, oh my God, a hand came out of the sky, I can't believe what I just saw. But dreams are happening in the slightest ways that, become the biggest accomplishments in your life. Mm-hmm. So it's a series of small wins that create the victory. And I had written a song already, and I was anticipating something was going to happen. And then on August 6th, I was at the ISO Awards, the International Singer-Songwriter Awards in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. and I won the single of the year.
Oh, congrats!
For My Love's Lost, and that kind of pulled it all together. That was the day. That I was really struggling, even the solo thing, wondering if I was going to be accepted or casted as a sellout, because I changed the music from alt rock to now I'm competing with Ed Sheeran and Dermot Kennedy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a different place now. I'm kind of in adult contemporary pop, and I got to tell you, I kind of like it. I'm not opposed to it, Jimmy. I'm actually feeling it. Like I'm feeling the melodies. I'm feeling the warmth. So, but when I won that award for Single of the Year,
mm-hmm.
it was kind of like an affirmation that I was going in the right direction, because My Love's Lost is such a departure from the other 308 Ghost Train songs in sound and in style,
mm-hmm.
that it's more akin to Dreams and the rest of this album. So it kind of like like a light bulb went off in my head. It was like, oh, this is the Ghost telling me, man, this is the way you got to go if you want to make it. And so it kind of all came together in that basically listen, I could have been wrong or I could have been right at that time. I could have been it would have looked bad if I wouldn't, but it all came together for me, and then Dreams became became the launch pad.
Very cool. That's a cool story. You've also released a music video for Dreams on your Caruso YouTube page, which I think came out pretty cool. Do you play a part in the creative process when you create these videos, or do you have a team that does it? Kind of, sort of. As the artist, Amanda does all the visuals, but she's very creative in her own right. Mm-hmm. And
she'll sit down and she'll ask me, what do I see in some things? So I'll say, because this head, this. You've been talking to me now for a couple of years,
right?
I think I've had 2 or 3 conversations
at least. Yeah,
so this is probably our 3rd. Yeah. Anyway, and like the crazy things that happen inside this head are like, who knows? Who knows what's going on? So she had asked me one time. She said, "Well, what are you seeing?" And all I did was say what I was seeing. Like I was seeing these like colors, deep colors and richness and
mm-hmm.
like things like. And I said, I'm seeing myself flying on a magic carpet, because it's like a dream-like state. Because sometimes in my dreams I see myself flying around a room.
Wow.
but I'm not on a magic carpet.
Nice.
But I said, what? The magic carpet kind of brings the dreamy thing in, with the Aladdin's lamp on the back of it. So I gave her that, and she put together the whole thing. Cool.
That's pretty cool.
She just took a little foundational, idea, and she went, and I think she did a perfect job. I mean, I'd be shocked if this video didn't win some awards this year. I mean, it's just that good. It's better than any video that she's done to date. So I'm looking forward to it being a big win for her too.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Now, she's a photographer, right, by trade?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, she's a photographer that I drug into the video world. She had one class,
mm-hmm.
and she was fighting me. And I said, look, Amanda, I've been doing this 20 years. I've been doing videos 20 years. You can do this. So she started as a photographer, had one class, and I talked her into being a videographer. And man, look where she's went. She's won 2 awards already in the last couple of years.
That's awesome.
She's won one for I'll Break Your Heart. The very first video she saw, she won an honorable at the Posies. And then the next year she won one of those film festival awards up in Canada. I think Toronto. She won for Bleed Over Me, which is a pretty cool video she put together too, with all the craziness it had in it. I love the videos that have all like the circles, like the hypnotic things that move, and
mm-hmm.
Just rich backgrounds. But I think by far, and she shot My Love's Lost, which was up for an award. She was a finalist at the ICE Awards this year for My Love's Lost. She didn't get the win, but there was only one video win, I think. And and Dreams though is just light years ahead of that. I mean, gosh. Dreams is starting to look like, wow, we're starting to move into the movie type of element, which we don't want to get too far into, Jimmy. You know me, I'm a blue collar,
mm-hmm.
hit the ground with the boots. I'm in the streets with the people, and we're not trying to be Hollywood. We're trying to stay organic, but at the same time, we want to deliver some entertainment that's rich and it's got texture.
Isn't
and
it?
I think I think Amanda hit that out of the park.
Yeah, she did a great job. Now, don't you think it's pretty cool though that like nowadays you can shoot a video that awesome and not cost as much as it did back in the day when they were shooting videos for MTV?
Absolutely, those videos used to cost $275,000.
Right.
These videos we can do for under $1,000.
That's awesome.
Sometimes we shoot these videos for less than $400 or $500. It all depends because we get participation from people who want to just be a part of it. We like to do a lot of Santa Barbara Yacht was probably our most expensive video and that was only because we traveled to 6-7 states and captured the backgrounds live. We did not use any stock or green screen in that part of it. So we had to travel, which means we had to go on the road, gas, but we involved communities. So when we got to a community, we involved people in the community and they would come and they played parts. So, we kind of did both, but I think that was our most expensive one. I think that one cost about $2,000 or $3,000 when it got done with all the travel costs, hotels, and all that stuff.
Yeah, well, back in the day, there was just MTV and VH1. Right now, you have YouTube, you have Vivo, you have Facebook, you have Twitter, Instagram. All these videos can be posted on those platforms, correct?
Yeah, 5 billion. I think 5 billion watches a day on YouTube. 5 billion.
That's amazing.
MTV would have loved to have that, even though they were the pioneer and did well themselves. But if you notice, you don't hear about them no more.
No, they're doing Catfish and 16 and Pregnant shows on there now. So.
Yeah, I mean, because they can't really. The only way they could ever engage the market was to have a lock on it, because you'd have to be in front of your TV, and you don't have to be in front of your TV anymore.
Nope.
People have choices. People have choices, and people are not, prone to. Just like the radio stations are dying, the regular radios, terrestrials dying, because they keep following that same model where they spoon feed you
the same 200 songs.
It's the same songs every hour.
Yep.
And people now know that they have choices. The only reason that gets done is because the major labels have a stronghold inside the terrestrial radio stations with Clear Channel, Beasley, Cox, and a couple others. And that's their last stronghold in the battle, and that's the only thing they can control is who gets heard on that terrestrial radio. Because guys like you, and I'm on all the shows with guys like you that have their own communities with their podcasts that reach everywhere,
right,
all over the world. Okay, and I'm getting just as good, if not better, coverage. For what's going on. I mean, I think Angie wrote me this morning and told me that the video hit 10,000 plays today.
That's amazing.
10,000 views and like 700 and some likes, which is really, really good. That's more than the 1%, the 1 to 2%, which is you generally get in likes versus it's like 7%. So that's a pretty impressive set of numbers so far.
Yeah, and speaking of radio, your single Dreams is charting on several stations and the reviews are flooding in. What's it like seeing your first solo single climbing the charts and reading those positive reviews?
Dude, I'm telling you, I am shocked. I thought I was going to meet, listen, whenever I put a 308 Ghost Train song out there, they chopped me, sliced me, and diced me like the Ronco slicer and dicer did. I mean, I would get half of them would love me and half of them would hate me. This record here, man, I haven't gotten one bad review yet. I'm saying, and you know what I think it is? It's the way we did the song. People are resistive of the classic vibe anymore. People are resistive of the rock that sounds like regurgitated John Fogerty and Bon Jovi. They like it, but it's nothing new to them, so they get squirmish about giving you a high rating. But when you're doing something a little different, excuse me, and you're doing something a little different, and you're driving that bass drum through the bottom of it, like they're doing today, all of a sudden, the moment they hear that kick drum, dude, it's a different song, different sound. It can have some elements of rock, pop, whatever, but it's something about that driving kick drum that's driving all the modern music today and the tastemakers. I didn't get one bad review from a tastemaker across the industry, and I was shocked. I had to pinch myself. I think I made the industry. I know I made the industry charts the first week when they do all the new stuff and they say this is what we think is going to happen out there. And we landed at number 4.
Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty strong. That's industry has their own charts behind the scenes. The kind of tastemakers kind of rate with each other, and they get together and they say, oh, these are the songs we're going to play on the playlist. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I think streams wise, I think it's gotten 3,000 streams in 3 days. It's doing about 1,000 streams a day.
That's amazing.
Which isn't too bad. It's on about, I don't know, I'm going to say 15, 20 playlists already. Mm-hmm. That's pretty good too.
I think so.
Yeah, for the first week. So, it's just been wonderful, man. It's wonderful to finally arrive and land where you're not getting your ass kicked, by the naysayers and the tastemakers.
Yeah, when I first saw the press release for the solo album, I was a bit surprised, but then I kind of thought, well, you know what? He's been doing the 308 Ghost Train for a couple of years. Maybe he has some material in him that he thinks would be better for his own use, if that makes any sense. And
yeah, you're right. You're right. And another thing you're right about is that stuff started happening. People started coming to me saying, hey, Train, why aren't you playing this song and that song on tour? I said, well, we can't. I said, that's the ballads. Mm-hmm. I said, nobody wants to hear the ballads live. Everybody wants the energy. Everyone wants to hear chaos. Everyone wants to hear Little Miss Misunderstood, Born in the Wild. You want to hear all Just Like Money, Something's Going On. And like I had people coming to me saying, man, you need to play those songs. People need to hear your songs, man. They need to hear Love You More, and they need to hear the words, and need to hear, Bleed Over Me, and they need to hear If I Had to Live Without You. And I got to saying, a couple of people coming to say me that kind of made me think, wow, man, maybe I need to. At first, I was just going to separate it, and just be, one or the other. But then the tour kind of fell through with COVID when we, just in last May, the drummer got COVID on the road. The bass player quit on us because he didn't like the way things were going. Selfish people that say they're in it with you, but don't want to burden. They don't want to carry the load when things get a little rough. When it gets tough, some people can't get going. So our bass player was just he turned out to be just the biggest disappointment I ever met in my life.
Wow. And
the rest of the guys, he basically kind of derailed the train, for a little bit, and left 4 other guys hanging, and so because Luca got good, the drummer got okay, and he caused us to lose a couple good gigs on that tour, and we just it's just I can forgive, but I can never forget kind of thing, Jimmy. So what happened was I kind of went into this place, and I don't know, a couple weeks later I was talking to somebody that I knew from Warner, and they said to me, he said, well, why don't you just go solo, man, for a little bit? Put the train in the station, go solo for a little bit. I said, you write all the songs anyway. It's basically you. Mm-hmm. Everybody, and he said, everybody knows that, man. Don't think you're hiding that from anybody. Everybody knows it's not the band. They know it's you. Because every time they look at a song, they want to know who wrote it. They see you. Okay? And I said, okay. I said, but how am I going to rebrand? How am I going to brand me? I mean, it took me 3 years to brand a 308 Ghost Train. And he said, what are you talking about, dude? You've got the most famous name in music. I said, what? He said, Caruso. He said, the name is synonymous with music. He said, all you got to do is show up. Mm-hmm. And I said, oh, light bulb, aha moment. I said, wow. I said, never thought of it like that. He said, yeah, you're going to be already universally accepted just because of the name. And I said, and I'm not the only one that tries this, but it looks like I'm rising above them really, really quickly. There's probably 25 artists out there that call themselves Caruso or with their name in Caruso, but for some reason, man, I'm already jumping above the fray, even on Spotify, iTunes already in the first weekend. Mm-hmm. And it's looking like, oh man, maybe they were right, and maybe this was the path of least resistance. The 308 Ghost Train can always do shows if somebody wants to book me for a festival next year. That means I've got 2 opportunities to touch people. Because what I want to do, Jimmy, on this show is I want to come and play stripped down listening rooms. Mm-hmm. I don't want to do the concert thing with this deal. I want to come bring the piano player, Johnny Zitch, and the guitar player, and me. And I want to go into these rooms that hold like 75 people. And I want to sit down, I want to do the storytellers on all the songs. I want to play the songs for them. So I want to make a complete show with a cinematic approach, having Amanda put the cinema behind this, the pictures that relate to the songs, which she's working very hard on to get together. Is this real cinematic thing where we put a screen up behind the stage, and it's going to be simulated drum tracks because we're not going to bring everybody. It's going to be that kind of stuff, but it's going to be stripped down, so you get a chance to get intimate with the music and the man.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Now, do you have any
plan?
Do you have any dates lined up?
No. We're we're working on that now. I'm not looking to try to even venture out till spring of 2023. And Angie's working on. We're working with Detour, I believe it is. It's the new NEVA, the National Independent Venues Association. Mm-hmm. They have this collective of venues that call themselves the Detour, and they're basically there to partner with the artists and bring shows into not into these bars, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like venues, like little venues, little listening rooms, like little theaters, little this, that, all over the country. Like got them all over the country. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're hoping to play. And I'm sure I'm going to have to open in the beginning, but I'm okay with that too. You know me, man. I just want to play. I don't care where I play at. I mean, what position I'm in. Matter of fact, I'd rather if I go to somebody's hometown, and they play with me, I'd rather them be ahead of me. I'd rather them be last because why? Because they've got a hometown crowd. I want everybody to see me, so I need to go in between. That's what I did on the road with the 308 Ghost Train. The plan was if we get two locals, right? Mm-hmm. We sandwich in the middle. We play in the middle. Why? Because if people come first, they're going to stay for the second. They're probably going to stay for the third because they're locals. That's how you get more. That's how you sell more merch, and that's how you get more fans until you get to be like Aerosmith or whatever. Then it doesn't matter anymore. Mm-hmm. So this acoustic tour is going to be interesting, an interesting, different look. Mm-hmm. And I'm excited for it, man. I really want to get into this. I played a couple acoustic gigs in 2021. One was in Gainesville, and one was in right here in Ellington. And I got such a great response for telling the stories. People want to know what the song was about, and what's happening. So, mm-hmm. What they want to feel like they're a part of it, and that's how you put them on the train with you, so to speak. You give them that sense of ownership, and I think that's important.
Yeah, well, even though you're solo, you're still the train, right? I mean, you'll always be the train.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? You should keep that in your that train logo or that train image somewhere, and try to incorporate it in with your branding anyway, because it is your brand, correct?
I think Amanda would love you just said that, because she had mentioned that to me too. Mm-hmm. About keeping the train somewhere off in the distance in the photography, so it's never forgotten. It's almost married together.
Right, you can use it for merchandise as well.
Yeah, and we still have some. Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's good. That's a great idea. We may go that road.
Now, will there ever be another 308 Ghost Train album, or is it just going to be on the back burner for now?
Well, I mean, I don't want to say never. Mm-hmm. But I don't want to say never at the same time. I mean, trains in the state, the 308 Ghost Train's just in the station resting. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's hibernating is what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. So it's always there if something comes up and I start to write in that direction again. And now here I have two outlets, Jimmy. Think about this. Say I go on and write a breadbasket full of songs that sound like Caruso. Well, I got that going. Say I start writing some songs that sound like they belong in the 308 Ghost Train. Well, I got to go back that direction. Mm-hmm. I kind of have a choice now, which is interesting because you want to keep that music separate because it confuses the audience if you put it together. Right.
Now, are the guys in 308 Ghost Train supportive of the Caruso project?
Oh yeah. I mean, other than the situation we had with the bass player, I mean, the other guys they're waiting for me to call them. I think that I feel bad. Mm-hmm. I feel bad. They're waiting for me to call them, and I hope that someday soon I can call them to do something, But right now, I've got to. If I'm going to ever get back to moving that train, I got to put this train up in the top. I mean, this is going to be this could be the linchpin that brings it all together.
Yeah, well, this is something that you've probably had in your, like you said, in your dreams all along, and it's something that you need to do, because if you don't, you might regret it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, of course, we all dream of being recognized, individually. But, when I won that award this year, I kind of, I don't know what happens, but when you cross that goal line to certain levels, all of a sudden, you're at ease now. You're not as anxious anymore. You're not as, you're not as vehement about, proving your point or about getting the respect you deserve. And like maybe you were before, just upset about this and that. It's not, you're not lifting you to the place you need to be. And then that award comes, that one award. I mean, I had won a bunch of other awards, but nothing like this one. This was the one for me. And, that award just kind of I don't know, put me at ease. Mm-hmm. It put me in a place that said, hey man, it's time to just move on and just keep moving.
Validation.
Yeah. Hey, everybody wants that, man. And I hope everybody gets it to some degree because it's such an unbelievable feeling of accomplishment. It's such an unbelievable sense of accomplishment, and especially when you've worked very hard for it and you put all you have into it. Mm-hmm. You get validated in the fact that you were doing the right thing all along.
Right. And no drug or alcohol will be better than that high.
Oh, hell no. Hell no. You couldn't even begin to eclipse the high that they called my name in that award. You couldn't even begin. I don't care if you'd be dead, overdose. You would never not feel anywhere near that high that I felt when they called that name.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, I think it's awesome.
When they called My Love's Lost 308 Ghost Train. And man, I still get chills.
Is there a video of it?
That video, did you get to see it? I posted it on Instagram and
there's video
Facebook.
of it?
Yeah, but the video when Amanda had me on her iPhone. I didn't even know it. Uh-huh. I was intently praying and say band single of the year. And she has it. It's up on Facebook, TikTok. I think it's on Instagram under Caruso if you go on there. But you can see it, and it's about, I don't know, a minute or so. And God, it's just capturing that moment. And you got to live that moment in the present. And it's just every day, just live it, Mm-hmm. But go take a look at that when you get a chance because it just still sends chills up and down my spine.
I definitely will. Now, do you have a website that you'd like to promote?
Well, we're building the website for Caruso right now. And we're taking our time with it because we don't want to just throw just anything out there. So that website's being built and it'll probably be ready before the end of the year. Okay. The reason for that is we'll make sure we get everything, lined out of what we want to do with the website. How we want to present it as far as do we want an e-commerce store in there? Because I'll tell you, I didn't sell a lot of merch on the Ghost Train website. I sold at shows, So listen, they charge you $300 a year to do that, and that's an expense I could put into music. So we're still working that out, details out. Everybody says you got to have it, and I say I disagree. Mm-hmm. I disagree because I haven't sold one thing on 308 Ghost Train website ever. In 3 years, ever.
Wow.
Yeah, ever. Nobody goes to the website unless you're the Rolling Stones or Aerosmith or whatever. Nobody's buying it. Where they want to buy is where the excitement's at the show when they meet you. Mm-hmm. They don't want it's such a sterile transaction, man. When they buy something off your website, I think that it's just I just don't think we're there at that point where people are going to, flock to our website to buy stuff. Mm-hmm. I couldn't even give this song away. I did a Shopify for a month. I tried a Shopify. They said, it's the best thing. Shopify will promote it for you. I tried to sell the single for 80 cents before it came out on Warner Bros. Not one person took me up on it.
Wow.
Yeah. Now it's freaking playing like crazy. So, you don't waste your money sometimes.
Right.
Yeah, I just think sometimes it's a waste of money. So
yeah, you could use that money towards something else, like you said, another video or recording another song.
Absolutely, another recording, another song. You got to keep the material going. That's it. It's all about the song, bro. I think I said that to you before too.
Right.
It all starts with the songs. Mm-hmm. So without them, you really don't have anything.
That is true.
I'd rather pour the money into that.
Absolutely. I mean, like if you're not making any money off the website sales of merchandise, what's the point?
Yeah, it's not. It's a waste of money. And Amanda's very frugal. She's like does all the books and stuff. And trust me, if something ain't working right, she's there telling me about it. So I get reminded constantly. So this time I decided to hold up on all that. I want to put together a nice website. Just want to figure out how I want to lay it out.
Okay. Now, is there anything you'd like to mention that we didn't talk about? No,
but I want to tell you, I'm trying to build my social media up on across this solo artistry project so that people can, stay in touch with me. And so I set up a TikTok. I have a TikTok now. Everything's under Caruso the Artist.
Okay.
So if you go to Twitter or Instagram or even Facebook or TikTok, you just put in Caruso the Artist, and it should pull up my account. Go ahead and follow me. Hang in there with me. Take a walk with me on this journey, and let's see where we can go together. I mean, it's going to take all of us. I can't do it alone. My music can help to excite people, but it's going to basically take the people to get behind me. And I believe it or not, I have an okay transitional fan base from 308 Ghost Train. I grabbed a couple thousand people, from there right away. So yeah, it wasn't bad. I mean, that part of it. So I think I got like 2,600 on Instagram. I got 1,000 on the TikTok already.
That's cool.
I think I only got like 600 on Facebook, but I don't concentrate on that because, Jimmy, my demographic has changed. I can't believe this.
Mm-hmm.
What once was 30 to 54 or whatever, 34 to 54 is now 18 to 36.
Cool.
So it's, I got to meet a lot of new people now. I've got to bring them in through the music. It's like a lot of those people weren't 308 Ghost Train people. Mm-hmm. A lot of the rock people and the Facebook people, believe it or not, we're all a different generation in Facebook. Instagram's a younger generation. Facebook's an older generation, and TikTok's even younger than the IG people.
Right.
So really, IG and TikTok are probably the ones that I'm concentrating on the most because they lay within my demographic.
Nice. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, you gotta follow the numbers. I mean, listen, it's all numbers. Everything in this is numbers. You gotta follow the trends and the numbers that are working for you. Mm-hmm. And if you see things going a certain way, I mean, the metrics are there. You've got metrics behind everything. Got metrics behind the Facebook. I got metrics behind IG, and I've got metrics behind TikTok and everything else. Mm-hmm. And so I can see who's going where, and who's coming from where. I can even see the countries, and Spotify gives me that. And man, I'm getting all over the world. But the premiere, the song premiere, we pushed the song out like 3 weeks before or 4 weeks before the drop. Mm-hmm. And I've gotten picked up by radio stations in the UK, Switzerland, Australia, and a few places in between, during that time. And, it showed in the first Spotify streams. I think I told Amanda yesterday it was amazing that I had 576 pre-saves.
Wow. Which
is really good. And they were all over the world. Like, people went and pre-saved it. We pushed it out. People liked the song and they pre-saved it. I'll tell you what, 576 is not shabby for an independent artist that has no major label marketing side behind them. I mean, I have a major label distribution, but I can use the name and they distribute me and they back me up as far as, me being an artist. But, when it comes to marketing money, I'm responsible for all that because I want to keep all my publishing. See, I own all the publishing. So
smart.
In order for me to ever grab any marketing dollars, I'd have to concede publishing, and I'm not ready to do that yet because the deal wouldn't be that good yet. Mm-hmm. I'm going to wait until Dreams and this next song and the next song maybe hit the charts bigger and maybe hit a couple in the top tens. And then maybe I have more leverage and then checks get bigger.
Right.
So it's all just, being patient too.
Yeah. You got to do what works, man.
Yep, it's all good.
Well, Anthony, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show today. I think this new venture is going to work out real well for you. Congratulations on the single and the video, and I'm looking forward to hearing the rest of it when it comes out.
You'll be one of the first that get an email that, with each single to go ahead and start playing, and for your listenership. And if I come through North Myrtle Beach.
Yes, sir.
That's where you're at, right? North Myrtle Beach. When I come through there, I'll definitely be hooking up with you to play, getting in, being there, maybe to introduce me and be part of the show. And
that would be cool.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Thank you so much for having me on, Jimmy.
You're welcome. And we have each other's phone numbers, so let's stay in touch, man. Feel free to text me whenever you want, all right?
I sure will, brother. And you have a wonderful day. And let me go ahead and weather out this Hurricane Ian.
All right, you guys be safe, all right?
All right, buddy.
Take care.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Peace of mind is something that I thought I'd never find. A tortured soul is all I know, till I find you. Happiness is something that I thought just won't exist. It's something that I'll never know, till I find you. My love's lost, where is my love? Did it exist just once upon a time long ago? Or is it just make-believe? 'Cause that's what dreams are made of. Hope and grace carry me through on my walk of faith. All I do is pray they don't let go, till I find you. My love's lost, where is my love? Did it exist just once upon a time long ago? Or is it just make-believe? 'Cause that's what dreams are made of. Don't blame yourself for trying to find your way, 'cause everybody finds their way someday, so they say. Peace of mind is something that I thought I'd never find. A tortured soul is all I know, till I find you, till I find you.